Buenos días, señor Q. Este es la semana 25 de Teología de 2025. Este es, nosotros estamos en la clase de doctora en español 4 y 3. And este es para el gospel de Weekly Gospel en inglés. Y yo estoy con mi amigo. Yo tengo mi amigo ahora. Está allí. Se llama y por la cultura y tradiciones de Weekly Gospel, ¿qué es tu encontrar? Te encontrarlo. Encontrátelo.
Sí, muy bien. Sí.
Jaden,
Mi español no es bueno.
Jaden puede hablar en inglés ahora.
Yeah, sí. So what I found to be kind of interesting, one of the first things I found, that like even sinners do the same. Like sinners will always sin. Sinners will always sin. People will always sin. But it takes a dedicated Christian to not sin. I'm sorry, it's hard to think when there's so much noise going on.
Don't worry, it's all understandable.
See. But like the people who actually listen to God and like they dedicate their lives to God and always show that love to other people, those people are forgiven and are no longer considered sinners. But the people who reject God and they do heinous things, they're always bad, as much as mal, they are considered sinners, and they do the same thing over and over again. They cannot be redeemed.
Sí, es la verdad. Y no sé. ¿Tú no sabes?
Yo no por qué. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
You wanna say por qué? What is it? I don't know why. Yo no sé por qué.
In English, I don't know why. No sé por qué.
No sé por qué.
No sé por qué. Y es un encontrón muy buena. Y tú... I don't know how to say this. Las lecciones de esta semana en el Gospel, Jesús habla a los criados.
Yeah, I know.
Man, this is right. Ayer contra.
A little bit of Spanish.
A little bit of Spanish. Yeah.
We've been trying to speak Spanish the entire time.
Yeah, this is a little bit hard. Okay, so basically what I was saying in Spanish was that when Jesus was talking to his disciples, whether the lesson it's been believed as a common thing for all of people, whether they're Catholic or Christian, what Jesus is trying to tell us is that he's trying to remind us of a simple, a very humble lesson that we sometimes forget, that ayer contra las lecciones for all of us, for todos, it's very easy for us to feel as if we want revenge, we want to cause harm to others. And this is actually something that my group brought up, and I feel like even for you, you also brought it up. And so I like to address how inside of this gospel, the lesson is that we are all sinners. Like, for example, I've heard of some, like, I know that before in some previous gospels we discussed the differences and like struggles of like being an atheist and like this divide between being an atheist and also like Christian thinking. And so that's why I like bring you always up inside this, because I like to hear and I want you to like just talk, and we have this cool stuff.
I don't know why he said that though, is because like as a person, I find it like I will treat you with respect, but if you don't show me that respect, I won't respect you. Like, I'm a firm believer in treat people the way they treat you. I believe like, I believe there's goods and bads to treating everyone with respect and just all the love in the world. Because there are some people who don't deserve that. I firmly believe there's a lot of people that don't deserve that sort of respect. Even for Christians. I feel like Christians would benefit very well from just cutting the people off that are obviously not, they won't change. But some Christians just don't see that. That's why I find it weird how I just don't understand why Jesus would tell people like treat everyone with respect even if they're mean to you. Like, because if you're nice to people who are mean to you, what does that do for you? It doesn't do anything. Like, you don't feel better. You don't feel. I mean, some people might feel better, but I know for sure, for me, I don't feel better. I don't feel better from treating people who treat me like crap with respect. Like, they don't deserve it. So why should I?
Don't worry. I fully understand that lesson. In fact, I feel like por estos cristianos y católicas es contra a las lecciones. For many people, los comportamientos de todos, it's very easy for us to be blinded by anger, and I'm not saying that against you, because 100% I am blinded by anger, especially when people, like, I understand definitely that frustration, and right now, because I'm not angry, I can easily, like, I feel like this lesson, it's easy to understand the message. Just be a good, like, try to always be good, irregardless. And so I feel like that's also a very interesting thing, because as Catholics or as Christians, some people understand that message, but it's always, like, for example, it's easy to follow these lessons, but it's hard to actually practice it. And I feel like that's where this disconnect happens with you, definitely. And I feel like, yeah, there's definitely some things where people shouldn't put themselves in. There are some situations that we shouldn't let ourselves, like, for example, abuse, right? That, of course, that's not what we should do. It's mostly, like, I remember you, Miss Q, when you were talking about this stuff, you reminded us the fact that some people also brought up that the same thing that you're feeling right now, that when we are in these certain situations, yeah, don't worry. In certain situations, it's fully normal and also healthy to feel as if you should avoid or get yourself out of that whole entire situation, right? Like, for example, abusive relationships. If somebody abuses you and they hate you, you shouldn't, like, come back and, like, fully forgive them. It's important to know that forgiveness has multiple ways and the different ways to show that you forgave someone. In this lesson, it's important to remember that this isn't the forgiving of, like, hey, you hit me, hey, I forgive you, it's all good. Instead, it's to understand your situation and its uniqueness, and the fact that there's different responses that you could take according to that situation, while also knowing that you should forgive people in the sense that you should remove yourself from it if necessary and need be. if you are in a bad relationship, like for any reason that you might be in a bad relationship, you leave and you let it be. You forgive yourself, most importantly, where you no longer think about forgiveness in the sense that now it no longer troubles you, and that there's no grudge, and now you just can't, that's not gonna happen no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
So this is definitely what's happening, because if bless you, if everybody were to bless you, if you were to be in a situation where we always responded with violence, anger, or tit for tat, for example, right? Eye for an eye, all that sort of stuff, then we gotta remember that
I can
won't
understand that.
help.
I can understand like if someone were to like treat you with disrespect, then I say disrespect is earned. But I don't like I can get like I feel as if it should be common sense that if someone is treating you with disrespect, then you can treat them with disrespect since that's what they did to you. But I wouldn't say it should go as far as like violence.
Yeah, definitely, of course.
Like if someone hits you, then I say get out of that situation and just move on. Like I don't think if someone hits you, then you should come back swinging like with a knife or something. I say a good amount of petty disrespect is fine.
You feel like that's fine? Don't worry.
A petty disrespect, not straight up.
Straight up, like you start like increased tensions. Everything is like straight up. Somebody insults you, straight up kill them. Just like that. That's a little bit too far.
Don't do that. But a good amount of disrespect back is petty.
You know, that's understandable, and I can't blame you for that, because honestly, I could easily say, hey, that's bad. And honestly, I feel like I would do the same thing. Like, I'd start being sarcastic. Now, of course, let's just remember, don't worry, I wouldn't say it's okay to be petty, but it's understandable to be petty. I don't blame you.
But it's not encouraged.
Yeah, because we should always remember that even when like the small things happen, we should like try and make sure that we don't let more bad things happen added on.
Don't welcome that.
Definitely, yes, of course. And so, yeah, I feel like that's basically been the major lesson of this whole entire thing.
Basically the entire thing.
Yeah.
I did see like do things from your heart, like expect nothing back. That was also something I was talked about. I do want to go on this. For this line in particular, I incredibly agree with this. I was raised in a household that was like, you should extend your help to anyone and don't expect any reward for it. Just do it out of the goodness of your heart. I believe in this fully. Unless they're disrespectful.
Yes, of course. Now we're going back to disrespect.
Yeah, but like I am a firm believer in like if you see someone struggling and you know you can lend a hand to help, definitely go for it. It costs nothing just to help.
I feel like definitely inside this, it's always been calm and humble responses, while also being just like because now as we're entering into the season of Lent, we need to remember that like we're all the same basically, right? We're all born, we all have this like raw sense of ourselves, and so we need to remember that this lesson is specifically to avoid escalation, while also trying to make sure that we help out others, because we're all the same in like starting off in life. We should all have the same care for each other, because we're all one community.
Yeah, we should all remember that we're all born here.
Definitely. I feel like that's like going into like basic like human rights and all that stuff. Yeah.
Basic human rights. Please treat each other like human beings.
Yes. So we always need to remember that.
Yeah, every person is like like of their own. Like we all have our own. We all have our own differences, but in the end of the day, we're all humans.
I agree with that. I feel like. Do you have anything else, by the way?
Don't think so.
No tengo más cuestiones. No tengo más cuestiones. Muchas gracias, señor Q, por oír, porque oír la semana en inglés 25 Weekly Waspel y muchas gracias. Está así ahora por hablamos español y spanglish, pero este es mucho importante. Este es una lección simplemente y muchas gracias oír a todos por la semana 25 de Weekly Gospel. Yeah. Adiós.